what I find interesting about the Praetorian Guard is the way that it formed. It seems to lack a kind of tradition and proper place in Roman society, right? As in,
quite new.
Yeah, it's brand new, and they are incredibly powerful. And what's the check on their power? What's their own moral check on their power? They don't know what they're actually supposed to be doing because a mad tyrant created them. So, well, are we not here to just madly tyrannize? And it's the distinction between, like, again, I keep bringing it back to Britain because there's just no way that the queen, the bare-hatted Queen's Guard would be playing Kingmaker.
Like the Coldstream Guard is just going to murder Prince Charles in his sleep. It's just because they prefer wills.
It's inconceivable, because of the strength of the tradition in which these people live and the moral commitment they have to it. Whereas, of course, the Praetorian Guard, that's brand new. There is no tradition. There is no moral commitment. And so this isn't wrong. It's, this is what we can do, therefore we will do. And again, just like, we don't realize how lucky we were in Britain, I think. Like, we're just comparing, anywhere else to what we had. It's just, that's just never going to happen. It's just never going to happen. There's no future in which they said the Coldstream Guard, like, bump off Charles and impose William on the poppy. It's comical.
Because William promised them 3 years' pay.
Yeah, it's just comical. It could never happen. And so, and if it does happen, I'm proven wrong. I'm like, wow, okay, fair enough.
I'll eat my hat. Yeah, right.
I will eat my hat, but it's just not going to happen.
The Blues and Royals march on Parliament. It's just not going to happen.
Sadly,
But the transition of power between Caligula and Claudius, all this plays out. So wait, where is the cockpit of power? Who actually controls things? It might not even be the head of the Praetorians.
Yeah, there could be a conspiracy within the Praetorians, right?
There could be different factions within the Praetorians. Well, that is what happens. If I read a few lines then from Suetonius, I've cut out all the fat here, so it's a few different quotes. So if I read it, Suetonius wrote, having spent the better part of his life in circumstances such as these, i.e. being bullied and browbeaten and the butt of jokes, Claudius became emperor at the age of 50 by an extraordinary accident. And then, after Caligula is killed, but he soon heard about the murder and slipped away in alarm to a nearby balcony where he hid, trembling behind the door curtains. A common soldier, who happened to be running past, noticed a pair of feet beneath the curtain, pulled their owner out for identification and recognised him. Claudius dropped to the floor and clasped the soldier's knees, but found himself proclaimed emperor.
I mean, it's comical.
So, because we know that he ends up being emperor for 14 odd years or something, that common soldier made that call. Yeah. Right?
Well, I mean,
it was just a common Praetorian soldier.
This is the sort of thing the army did all the time. Oh, we're going to proclaim whoever it is emperor. And this happens all the time. Loads of civil wars, I suppose, a bit strong, but like, loads of uprisings through the army happen throughout the course of the Roman Empire itself.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah.
It happens all the time. You won a victory on the Rhine. Great, we're going to proclaim you emperor. So that's not how it works. Actually, that's exactly how it works. Going to march back on Rome now. It's like, oh, I guess I have to.
In later generations, later centuries, the Praetorians would kill and proclaim man after man after man. If people don't know that, And this is just the first time it plays out.
We'll have to do that at some point. Yeah. Like, who's the guy who's like, what evil have I committed? Like,
there's quite a lot.
There's just one particular one where he's like, he's emperor for like a month, and then they just kill him. And he's like, but what evil have I committed? And it's like, it doesn't matter. You bought the throne. That's the problem. But anyway.
In the Year of the Four Emperors, one of them.
Yeah, it's one of those.
So it wouldn't be Galba, Otho, Vitellius. No. I can't remember which one.
It's quite an unknown one because he's literally an emperor for like a month.
There's some stories where the Praetorians will proclaim their general emperor, and like that same day, or like a day later, they'll realise they haven't really got the momentum or something with them. Right. So to hush the whole thing up, they'll just murder him and pretend they never proclaimed him emperor.
Yeah, proclaim who emperor? I've never heard of the guy. Don't know. Where is he?
What's an emperor? I don't. We didn't do nothing, Gov. Honest.
Don't know where he is.
But so here, if Claudius had been found by one of the Praetorians who was in on it, if Cassius Chaerea himself had found him behind that curtain, he would have run him through.
Yeah.
So it is sort of an accident. It's accidental that he managed to survive.
God, the conspirators must have been like, what's going on over there? Oh, look, everyone's cheering. Let's go find out what's going on. Oh, they've hailed Claudius as emperor. Damn.
Yeah.
How has that happened? Yeah.
Kind of needed him dead.
Yeah, idiots.
Yeah. Yeah. Suetonius goes on that they then carried the Praetorians, this faction of the Praetorians, carried him off to their camp, still in Rome.
Brilliant.
And Suetonius tells us, Claudius looked at the picture of terror and despair.
Poor old Claudius.
Yeah. The picture of terror and despair in his passage through the streets. Everyone cast him pitying glances as if he were an innocent man being hurried to execution.
That's because that's what it feels like. You know, like I could totally feel Claudius's perspective on this. I just wanted to read books.
Yeah.
Poor old Claudius.
Because it is de rigueur, it is par for the course.
Yeah.
That he could expect the entire imperial family to be murdered at this point.
It's totally, sort of. I mean, they've just murdered the emperor. Why wouldn't I think that I was about to be murdered?
But so the thing is, I think I mentioned it right at the end of the last one, that in the minds of at least some Praetorians, probably the majority of them, like our whole position, our whole way to remain Praetorians is that we need an emperor. If the Republic's restored, they'll do away with the Praetorian Guard, probably. Yeah. So we need an emperor, whoever...
The Praetorians would have to enact some sort of actual military junta in Rome, because their entire legitimacy rests on the emperor.
And even if it's the deformed, dim-witted Uncle Claw, we're still going to...
We need our emperor.
We need an emperor, right. And to stop the Germans from going berserk.
Yeah. They're
going to want another emperor.
Yeah.
And they're going to want a donative.
Yeah.
We need an emperor. We need an emperor. So that's their thinking.
It's actually kind of comical, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's got these they're undoubtedly. I mean, the Romans thought of the Germans as giants anyway, because on average they would have been just taller than the average Roman,
like a yard taller.
Yeah. Like literally like a yard taller, and it's just like. And the Germans were considered to be sort of semi-mystical as well. They were like really foreign, really weird.
Extremely barbaric.
They shave their heads in weird ways, and like the Swabian knot still exists. Like we've got corpses with the weird knot in the hair. They're so un-Roman and like massive and scary.
Almost otherworldly.
Yeah.
And Caligula had picked particularly massive guys.
Yeah.
They're particularly big even for the Germans. Yeah. So they were like giants.
Yeah.
And they're gonna go mad if they don't have another emperor to pay them.
There's a few, I don't know, a dozen or 2 dozen of these.
There's quite a lot of them.
Oh, are there?
I think that I don't know the numbers. I don't think the source say the exact numbers, but you can get the impression it's dozens and dozens. Because otherwise the Praetorians probably could just kill them all, but they can't really. It seems like there's a real power struggle.
Oh, really?
And that's the thing. This day or over the next few days, there's this really odd power struggle. Who is... Because the Senate I'll get to it in a sec, but the Senate try and wrestle real power and control back for themselves.
With the Senate, are we important? No, you're not important. Shut up.
So is it the Senate? Is it the Praetorian Guards? Is it the Germans? Is it Claudius? Is it the Imperial family still? It's all up in the air.
And Claudius really is the only one with any kind of actual claim here, right? So the Senate kind of has abdicated their decision-making ability generations ago. So no one respects them.
Yeah.
It's just Claudius.
Yeah. Well, Suetonius goes on to say this: the consuls, with the approval of the Senate, because there were still consuls, and the aid of the urban cohorts. So again, another type of city guard. Yeah. They were another faction. Had seized the forum and the capital, and were determined on restoring the republic.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I'm in favour, to be honest.
Yeah. They sent a letter to the camp because they know word goes round that Claudius has been taken hostage of a type in the Praetorian camp. So they sent him a letter saying, come down to the Senate house. We're restoring, get in, we're restoring the Republic.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Yeah.
Claudius writes back to them and we're told, Claudius replied that he was being forcibly detained and could not come.
And this is also comical to me. Like, Claudius is like, well, I'd love to.
Yeah. And I think he would. He genuinely would.
I'd love to get out of this. But they won't let me leave. And they're telling me I'm in charge.
Apparently, people were in his ear saying, "Look, you are a hostage of ours, but also you can't." But also, if you give the senators back, if you try and let them restore the republic, whoever ends up winning that power struggle will certainly have you murdered and the remaining members of your family.
Oh yeah.
So you've got to be emperor, otherwise it's a death warrant for you.
Yeah.
And us.
Yeah, and also we're the guys with the swords who are going to make you do this.
Yeah.
So, like, it might be a death sentence if you just say no to me now. So, like, what is comical? It's genuinely comical.
It's a farce.
Yeah, it is a farce. Yeah.
The transition between Caligula and Claudius is a farce. Yeah.
I mean, I knew it was ridiculous, but I didn't realize it was this ridiculous.
It's interesting, though.
Oh, yeah, it's fascinating.
One more quick line from Suetonius on that. He says, "Meanwhile, crowds surrounded the building, the Senate House, and demanded a single ruler, expressly calling for Claudius. At last he allowed the soldiers to swear allegiance to him and promised every man 15,000 sesterces, which made him the first of the Caesars to purchase the loyalty of his troops."
Right. Because that's a lot of money as well.
Yeah. Well, that bankrupted him.
Yeah. That's a huge amount.
To do that.
Yeah. I mean, how big was the Praetorian Guard? Like 5,000
a few thousand, yeah.
Yeah. Right. So that's a huge amount of money. It's crazy.
We're told that in Tiberius's will, I think it was Tiberius's will, he gets a mere trifle, a mere tiny bit of money, but it was 800,000 sesterces.
Right.
So, okay. But nevertheless, we're told that completely bankrupts him.
No kidding.
Yeah.
To watch the full video, please become a premium member at lotuseaters.com.